like 4 minutes. About to do this.
Nick, what a hell of a game, man. We are live. We got 46 people in the chat right now, man. But what an impressive game. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. We're going to get you guys involved. But man, what an incredible match. Back-to-back 4-goal games for LAFC, man. This is what all the LAFC fans have been wanting. This is what everybody who knows what they can. Hey, you know about this? You know about that?
Bro. I mean, look, I'm not one to hijack your intro, but hey, we got a hat trick from Sonny. We also seen some unselfishness from Denis Bouanga for him to get the hat trick. Then with the somersault at the end, Bro, this was a complete game for LAFC. Absolutely a complete game. This is what we've asked for. Will, let me just tell you one thing, bro. Have you seen LAFC change their the line, not the lineup, the formation that much? At one point, it was a 5-3, 5-3, 2.
Yeah, 5-3-2.
And then it was a 4-3-1-2. Then they had a 4-3-3. Dude, it was incredible how much they switched. It's weird to say, but Tillman at the top, outbeating Martinez right now, is working, Will.
It is. This is incredible. But before we get into it, because we're going to get into this, we got 90 people in chat already. We only been live for 3 minutes. People are excited to talk about LAFC. They're excited to talk about Sonny, Son Heung-min, Denis Bouanga. Guys, make sure you like the stream down below if you haven't already. We're going to grow the audience as much as we can. We got the best LAFC podcaster there is in Nick Chastain of the Voice of Black and Gold with me here to talk about this game, which was incredible. We're going to break it down, the good, and there was a little bit of bad, but mostly good. Make sure you like the stream down below, share with a friend, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are 163 subscribers away from 10,000, Nick. So close, and we're going to try to hit that before MLS Cup playoffs start next month. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. But man, Nick, I cannot believe back-to-back games that Son Heung-min and Denis Bouanga get a hat trick. One got one last game, one got one tonight. What an incredible 4 goals for each one in the last 2 games.
You saying that just gave me chills. Right? Because look, LAFC has not been great at the beginning of the start of this season, but we're seeing the chemistry, Will. We're seeing what we've asked for, right? Let me just put this in perspective. 86 minutes he played today, okay? 36 touches, 4 shots on target. He gets a hat trick, all right? Out of 19 passes, 17 on the accurate. Like, dude, this was a full game, like a full-blown game that they put it all together. And I'm telling you, I believe it's with the formation changes, Will. I honestly believe that. Why? Because now we have them sitting up top. Yeah, you'll see Tillman come up a little bit more, but it's giving them space. They're not up in each other's box. They have room to be able to maneuver around. They're interchanging like what we used to see with the Diegos and the Velas together when they would do those switches. This is important. It's important. You're not seeing Son go so far back in the middle, right? Because we have enough people there that can facilitate up top and make sure that these two guys have the ball. How did he get his first goal? It was from facilitating from the middle. Boom, he was wide open on that run. Same thing for with Denis. He was open for that run. Then Son let that guy go in front of him. Boom, now it's my turn to go. It worked perfectly because they're not too crammed on each other. I'm excited, Will. I'm sorry. I'm excited right now.
Well, this is what we've been wanting to see LAFC do for a while because they've been playing some boring ass Dolo ball. If you know anything about that, that's what they do. But this 5-man backline has changed everything, Nick, because it gives the midfield more defensive stability, more freedom to do things in the middle. And I think Sonny and Denis Bouanga up top. You may tell you this right now. I said this during the stream. I don't know if you're watching the live watch along, but I'll tell you this. I'll say it again, okay? And people are saying right now, Son Heung-min and Denis Bouanga are the best duo in Major League Soccer. It's not even close. It's not even close.
So obviously I was watching the game. So I was trying to – I've tweeted this out. I said I believe that they are the most dynamic duo out right now in MLS. If not one of the best, they are the best. Of course, I'm an LAFC fan, so people are going to be like, yo, he has his goggles on, he's blinded. He's going to say that. I truly believe this, though. I believe it. You are seeing it. Dude, the somersault alone was good enough for me to say they are hand in hand. This is what we're getting coming into the best part of the season. We're going into getting close to the playoffs. This is what you want from your two-star players, bro. This is what you want. You want this chemistry. And look, there was a couple of holes. You just mentioned it a minute ago, right? There's a couple of things, and this is just me being honest as I can be. Hollingshead was having a bit of a rough go. I think it's now time for that. Smallscough is going to be the full-on starter, and Hollingshead comes off the bench. But what a great guy to come off the bench, bro. Like I love what we're doing. And you're talking about Dolo Ball, and I'm not trying to ramble on too long, but talk about Dolo Ball. After we got the 2 goals, I was like, oh, God, are we about to see the park the bus situation here? But Will, we didn't. We kept on at the second half, hitting them. And then, to top it off, Denis got his score, which now put him as the highest scoring out of any person for LAFC of all time. So what a treat, man. What an absolute treat.
I will say this. I feel like the first half, LAFC completely dominated. It looked beautiful. It made you think, okay, last game against San Jose was not a fluke. It was real. What they've done, changes formation, is working, and they are playing great ball, and it is fitting Denis and Sonny's style of play and helping set them up. But I will say this. I do think in the second half, they did come out a little flat, and they weren't trying. RSL looked like they were playing a little harder, at least the first 30 minutes. But when RSL got that goal, and that I think it was, the 76th minute, right? First of all, that PK, they were very lucky that they weren't able to score that because it went off the right post, went right at Hugo Lloris's feet. They were very fortunate that did not go in. But then Gozo, got to be honest with you, okay? RSL, young 18-year-old striker, scores a beautiful bicycle kick. Beautiful bicycle kick. One of the better goals you're going to see anywhere in the world, right?
It was like a side bicycle too, my guy.
It was.
It was one of those, like, he's seen it and just hands down, absolutely beautiful. And look, I think Tafari, he could have tried a little bit better to block it. It always seems to have Tafari in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know what's happening with him, but at the end of the day, hats off to the kid. As you said, 18 years old, absolute beauty of a strike right there, and you got to give it to him. I mean, look, as an LAFC fan, I even was like, oh, that was incredible, bro. Absolutely incredible.
By the way, Nick, we're only 10 minutes live right now. We're already at 77 likes, guys. Help us get to 200. We could easily hit 200. We have a very active chat. Everyone's excited to talk about Son Heung-min. Everybody's excited to talk about LAFC's great performance. Everybody sees that this team is a team to be reckoned with down the stretch of Major League Soccer heading into the playoffs. I think it's incredible. 8 goals in 2 games, Nick.
I mean, dude, I said it. At the right time of the season, right time at the season. And yeah, I do have a YouTube channel, by the way. You caught me off guard, but go to Voices of the Black and Gold on YouTube and you will find us there, man. We talk every Monday. Short little plug right there, Will. Thanks for that. But no, man, at the right time of the season, right? Will, you and I have been very critical of this team, especially early in the season. We were like, yo, I don't even know if this team is going to make the playoffs. Okay, yep, we're going to make the playoffs, but how far will we get into the playoffs, right, Will? We just got to be honest. With this team that we have seen the last 2 games, Will, we have a great chance to go deep, if not make it to the final and hopefully win this thing. I don't want to, go too far into it, but I'm just saying if this team can play the way that they are right now, the way that they did today, and some people are going to say, hold your horses, Nick. This RSL team is not great. And okay, but it's about how they put things together for me, Will. It's about how the camaraderie is, how the momentum is flowing, right? And that's what we got to look at, and that's what we got to think about. And if we can have the same type of unselfishness from Denis, if we can have the same go as we've seen from Son on the last 2 games, we're dangerous.
Well, real quick, SKC with the $10 super chat. Appreciate that. SKC says, so happy for Sonny. Everyone's happy for Sonny. He looked incredibly happy. One of the happiest I've seen him since he's been at LAFC today in this game. He looked absolutely. And you want to know something else? I'll say this too. This is the best duo that I've seen Son Heung-min have with any player since Harry Kane 2 years ago before he left for Bayern Munich. This is incredible. This is what you want to see. And guys, I've been watching MLS for a long time. When you have 2 great players link up like this, anything is possible. Anything is possible, and it's hard to stop. They have 2 of the best players in the league, 2 probably top 5 to top 10 players in the league on the same team in the attack, feeding off each other, building chemistry. Anything is possible when you have that, Nick. And like we said, momentum heading into the playoffs. If they play like they have the last 2 games, even with Steve Cherundolo's deficiencies as a manager, anything is possible. Anything is possible. They could make a run to MLS Cup and win it all. That could happen. That could happen. Who says it couldn't?
It definitely could happen. And let me put this out there, right? We only have 42% of the possession. Okay, so RSL had 58%. We only have 42%. But the possessions that we had were quality possessions. We didn't see much of going back this time, Will. Something that you and I have complained about a lot, right? When I've had some of the Korean new fans on VOBG, they'd be like, oh yeah, we like to call it the ping pong and back and forth, because that's really what it is, right? It's like they don't really want to go forward. Today and last week was all forward. It was all forward. We didn't want anything else. And that is something that has been a big change in the last 2 games, I believe, Will. And I don't know what it is with Dolo, but we haven't parked the bus as of right now in these last 2 games. And we have won in a fashion that we are used to at LAFC. And I am glad that yes. Fuck yes. I'm very, very happy with what I'm seeing from LAFC. And I'll tell you what, man, it's a pleasure to watch these guys play together. I like the new guys that are coming in too. Moran, I like I like the guys on the back line that we have back there. The one I'm more worried about is Tafari right now. We got to get him up to the program. But knowing that Palencia has now signed an extension, I mean, dude, this guy is a bulldog. Will I say it all the time, but he is a workhorse. This man has no give up on him whatsoever, and you've seen it these last 2 games.
I agree. And I want to ask the chat a question. I want to ask the chat a question about Son Heung-min. We obviously know this is his first hat trick since he's been in LAFC, first hat trick in MLS. I want to ask you, because I do this after during live watch longs during the game. I want you guys to rate Son Heung-min's performance tonight, 1 through 10. 1 is he was terrible. 10, he was perfect. I want to know what you guys think. 1 through 10, how would you rate Son Heung-min's game against RSL? And Nick, while the chat puts in their answers, I want you to tell me what you think. What would you rate Son Heung-min's performance 1 through 10 tonight?
I mean, I think it was a 15.
It was 100, man.
Okay, like honestly, bro, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it was all of what I've said, right? I'm just going to use his last one to get the hat trick. He was aware that he was offsides when the ball was delivered to Bouanga. He was under the impression of that, but he was aware of the RSL guy running next to him. Let me slow down. Now you're in front of me. Boom, the ball goes. Now I can touch it. That is awareness. That is a leader. That is the reason he is a GOAT to the majority of people that watch him. This is everything that LAFC needs, right? And so that's why I rate it so high. I believe that self-awareness is spreading through LAFC's locker room. I really do. And you want to talk about, and I've said it, about Bouanga being unselfish. That right there just showed, because he could have scored that goal. And then he could have had another one, and he would now be 2 goals above Carlos Vela. But he made sure that Son got that hat trick. A lot of people in the chat was like, yo, he probably should have shot that. But it's the unselfishness that shows, yo, I'm not here just for myself, because we've seen Sonny do the same exact thing. Be unselfish when he could have took a shot. Instead, he passed it over. And that is what he brings. So it's not just about what we've seen today. It's not about what we seen last week. It's about the overall 6 games that this man has been here. He has changed what was at the beginning of this year till now. And so he deserves over 10 in my opinion.
Nick,
what about you?
Listen, real quick, we're at 200 people watching us live. Incredible excitement. 122 likes already. We're getting closer to 200. And by the way, just in the short time, we already gained like 15 more subs. We are only 150 away from 10K already, which is incredible. Already 150K or 50 subs away from 10,000. Closer and closer. We might even hit that tomorrow. So I appreciate you guys, and appreciate you guys tuning in with us, supporting the show, being here with me and Nick. I'm going to give Son Heung-min a 10, because anytime you score a hat trick, you must have done something right. How often does someone score a hat trick they don't take a single penalty? 3 in-play goals for Son Heung-min. I think he had an incredible game, especially considering, what they expect from this man, all the pressure on him. He has to deliver for this team, and he did that exactly tonight. And obviously he's trying to build his chemistry with Denis Bouanga. Denis Bouanga scores a hat trick, and he's like, man, I got to get mine now. I've got 2 goals in the first 16 minutes. I got to seal the deal and finish this. And he had that one shot where it hit the left post as well. I thought he had that too. That was super, super close. Maybe he could have 4 goals tonight, honestly. But man, I tell you what more could you ask for him? They got a dub, and he got his hat trick.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Which out of the 3 did you think was the best goal?
The second one. The second one. That was the one he pulled up from deep. Caught the goalkeeper off guard, low right, caught him off guard. Beautiful goal. And
he had defenders all around him. He did a little shake it back. Boom, let me turn that ball around. Okay, yep, here we go. Bow. Way outside the box, Will. Way outside the box. And so for me, that was the most beautiful one also. I just was impressed with that particular one. And everybody's like, oh, man, this goalie is crap. But it's the quality of the shot. Like, we haven't seen too many of those quality shots from him right now because he's doing so much running. He's having to go so far back. By the time he gets the ball, his legs are a little heavy. That shot, there was no heavy legs. It was pure gold coming from that foot.
So hold on, let me ask you this too. How would you rate Son Heung-min's somersault?
Oh, I thought it was a 10. What?
Oh,
and then
really?
Bouanga matched it? Yeah, he went straight over. He didn't go sideways. He went straight head in between the leg. Boom. Beautiful roll straight up to his feet. And then but Denis Bouanga did the same and came up and said, boo-hoo. Bro, you cannot beat it. You cannot beat it.
You know, listen,
you gave him a 3.
Yeah, Sierra gave him a 3. Love Fishing says, loving the MLS. Kimchi thinks it's funny. No, I tell you this. There has been some Korean fans who have been disappointed so far with MLS and LAFC but I think with what they've seen the last 2 games, they're coming around and they're seeing what this can be. A little skeptical, but I think that they're happy. They've outscored their opponents 8-3 the last 2 matches, which is incredible. So I think that the LAFC, it's better late than never, Nick. And Son Heung-min now, let me think about this for a second. He scored his 5th goal of the season after the hat trick, if I'm not mistaken, and he has an assist. So he's got 6 goal contributions so far in his LAFC tenure, making an immediate difference. And, someone said in the chat, which I found hilarious, man. They're like, Son Heung-min has already done more in 5 games than Olivier Giroud did his entire time. Now, I know that it's about listen, I understand it's about the formation, the style, but at the same time, the style wasn't fitting Son Heung-min at first too, but he still found a way to do something.
Yeah.
I know it's a tough one for you because you're a Giroud fan. I know it's a tough one.
But I'm a Sonny fan too, but I just want to be honest here, right? And that's what I got to be honest about it, right? We have actually, I just talked about it, our formations, we've changed. And look what it's done to help out the team, right? We didn't change anything for Giroud. And you see what he's doing over in Ligue 1 now. I mean, so we're comparing things that really aren't really that fair if I'm being 100% honest. But you cannot take away what the man, the myth, the legend, Sonny has done for the locker room, for this club, not just on the pitch but off. And so, you gotta understand that too. And so I respect that, and I respect what people are saying because it is true. He's definitely done more than what Giroud has done. I do feel like Giroud was sort of dealt an unfair hand. Imagine if we were able to keep him and bring Son here. It would be pretty incredible. But I'm pleased and happy to have who we have here. I'm thankful to have them here or him here. And, we're comparing apples to oranges and it's not going to be fair either which way. But I have no complaints of who we have here, and I am absolutely stoked. And I see people are giving him a 9 also. So I don't know why she gave him a 3. I want to know her reasoning. You're only giving a 3 for that somersault. Will, what was yours?
I think it's a 10, man.
A 10.
You know why? Because the only thing that matters is why he's in the celebration. And the reason he was doing the celebration is because he got that hat trick. Kimchi with a $2 super chat says, happy day and night for the Korean Son and LAFC fans. Korean flag, black and gold hearts. Kimchi, I appreciate you for joining us tonight and stuff. And I'm glad everybody being here. Also, let me say, give Nick a shout out too. The best LAFC podcast that there is. I'm a pretty common host or a guest, I should say, maybe a co-host, but a guest on Nick's Voices of Black and Gold podcast. So you guys need to check it out because he's always got the best coverage for LAFC. He's your go-to guy for LAFC coverage. So make sure you check him out as well. Sierra says, just kidding. She didn't think it was a 3. She was just messing around.
She really meant 23. That's what
she meant. 23. Yeah, exactly. No, 230.
230. There it is.
230. Joa says a 10 plus. But look, this was an incredible game, and it was very fun to watch. And that's a thing. If people, to all the new people who are just now watching LAFC, there's been so long where LAFC has not been very fun to watch. The attack has been very boring. They haven't been able to score goals. Last year, they were not able to score 3 goals in the game, sometimes not even 2 goals in the game. Hell, sometimes no goals in the game. So having back-to-back matches of 4 goals is incredible, and that did not happen last year. That did not happen last year.
To speak about the 4 goals, Will, we talked about this on the show last time that you were on with me, right? Before last week, Saturday, we only had one other game this season with 4 goals, and that was against Seattle. Now we have back-to-back. So that makes a total of 3 goals or 3 games this year that we've had 4, where LAFC was always, as you know, we would always score 3, 4, 5 goals in a game. Now this year it's been a struggle. So to have these 2 back-to-back is a really big deal, man. So yeah, all joking aside, I'm super hyped on it, but this is a great momentum for LAFC, getting them points on the road, going back to BMO Stadium, where we're going to have Carlos Vela night, and it's going to be a big deal at home, and hopefully the ball keeps rolling down, and LAFC scores another 4, maybe even a 5-goal game, and that's what we need going into this last little stretch.
I want to show you this real quick because I did find this interesting that that LAFC made the most of their opportunities. So when they, let me make sure I got the right one. Okay, cool. So if you'll notice here, let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can just see this a little better. So RSL had 21 shots, Nick. 21 shots. They outshot LAFC by over 2 times, right?
Yes.
6 shots on target. LAFC had 9 total shots with 6 on target. So LAFC, they said that the expected goal rate was, I think, 2 point something for RSL, and it was under 1 for LAFC during the match. But LAFC were just able to, I know it says 2.36, but they had like 0.7 or something like that during the match. But it says 2.36 and 2.89 for RSL. But LAFC didn't have nearly as many shots, but they were efficient. They scored when they had to. And that was what was most impressive. Normally, when a team is out shooting you by 12 shots and you have the same amount of shots on target, you're normally not winning that game.
Well, it goes back to what I was telling you earlier, right? We weren't doing any of the ticky-tack, going back to the keeper side to side. Everything was forward. And I believe that was the big difference. You're looking at it right now, 1.37 xG, and to be fair, as we talked about earlier, Son could have had 4 goals if he didn't hit the pole, And so, it's LAFC was fully complete today. It was everything that we've asked for. Pressing, moving the ball forward, none of this backwards, no side. We were able to facilitate from the middle, and I believe, and I said it on here a minute ago, someone on the chat, it's because of the formation change. And I truly believe that. I believe it's because of the spacing and people not being on top of one another. And Tillman has done a great job these last 2 games. And he beat out Martinez to be up top right there, bro. Like, that is a big deal. And you see what has happened since he has been there. 2 games, back-to-back, 4 goals apiece. You can't deny it.
No, you can't. And they're playing well. And I want to talk about that, about what's going forward, because there are only a couple of games left in the regular season. And we'll talk about the standings too. Andrew, your co-host, is hey, it's Andrew from Voice of Black and Gold. Let's hear it for Sonny and Bouanga combo. Andrew, it's the best duo in MLS, in my opinion. And Jake says, Andrew, how are you doing, man? Nice to meet you, bro. Kimchi, this kind of reminds me of Sonny's Premier League expected goals. He always exceeds his expected goals. They say he's the most efficient goal scorer in Premier League history, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I've seen numerous times. Sierra says Tillman is a hardworking player. He is a runner. He's a go-getter. He's definitely doing the grunt work, and he played one of his better games, I think, tonight. And I think he has been playing very well in this new role, Nick.
She knows what she's talking about, don't she?
She does. She does. Except that 3 she gave it first, right? The 3 on the.
That was a 230. Don't. She said she was joking. Now
she was joking. She was joking. Today I could sense the spirit of Bayern Munich's youth academy and Tillman. He definitely looked a lot better. I think he has flourished in this new role where he's been playing in this 5-3-2 or hybrid 4-3-3. It kind of goes back and forth, but he's been playing very, very well. Nick, is there any other players besides Denny, Sonny, and Tillman that you were impressed with today? Anybody else that stood out to you in this game for LAFC?
Well, I'm always impressed with Palencia. Again, I don't think people understand his work rate. Honestly, I really don't. And because he's all over the place, right? At points, he's moving up as a winger, and he's all the way up at the top. Then he has to get all the way back to defend, and it goes unnoticed at times. And he is an absolute beast. I'm telling you, he really is. Portis. I think this is how you say
Portis. Yep.
I like him, bro. I really do. I think he was someone that John really did some good research to bring him in for our defense, considering that Aaron Long went down. But I'm worried about Tafari. I'm worried about Segura. But when you have Portis there with Palencia, and then for me, Smallskoff is in there, then they sort of shield the Segura and the Tafari in a way. You know what I mean? And it's something that I feel like sticks out to me since we've been doing that. The changes that I think, okay, yep, this is noticeable that these are noticeable changes, and I believe that they're ones that are the right choice, if that makes any sense.
No, I agree. And I want to give a shout. I think Lloris had a good game too. He had an incredible save on one rocket shot. I can't remember who it was for RSL. Maybe it was Ojeda or Cruz, but someone sent an absolute rocket at him, and he made an incredible save with his right hand. Or maybe it was his left hand, but it was an incredible save.
Will, he has been fantastic this season for LAFC, honestly, right? Like, he has saved us more games than not, right? So I'm very impressed with Hugo, and man, I hope with Son being here that it makes him stay that extra year. I truly do.
I think he will. I think he'll stay at least one more year. As far as this game, I think we'll wrap it up. We'll talk about LAFC or finish up by saying in this match, I think LAFC dominated. They were way better than RSL. RSL were pretty bad across the board, and LAFC just completely dominated and bullied this team. And that's what you would like to see. You want your team to, especially down the stretch when they're playing these other playoff teams. When you have a performance like this is encouraging heading down the stretch. And that's my thoughts. Is there anything else you'd like to add on to this game before we move on? Because I'm going to talk about the standings a little bit, and then we'll wrap it up.
No, man. I'm just first of all, I'm glad that all the new fans are able to see a positive out of LAFC, because when they first started, it wasn't that positive, right? And I know a lot of them will be questioning Sonny getting in the face of the refs again, because even with him getting a hat trick, he had stuff to say to him, which, I think it's just the passion that he's carrying to this team and to this club. And, look, we have some more games coming, and I know we're about to talk about that, but you have RSL going over to now BMO Stadium. Then you have St. Louis, Atlanta, Toronto, Austin, and then ending it with Colorado. So these are what we're looking forward to, these last few games, to really make a difference. And I'm looking at these, Will, and I just read you off the teams. Are you worried about any of these teams that are LAFC is about to face? Because when I look at it, I'm not really that concerned.
Okay, so let's pull this up real quick. So LAFC, with their win tonight, they just passed up Seattle. They're now fourth place, which is good. You want obviously to have that home field advantage. Seattle's no team to joke around with. They're now in fourth place. Okay, they have 2 games in hand compared to San Diego FC. If they win those 2 games, they'll only be 3 points behind San Diego FC for the first place in the Western Conference. Okay,
that's right.
So they're very much in the thick of things of possibly winning or finishing first or top 2, top 3 in the Western Conference. Very possible. Okay. Now, you talked about their upcoming matches. Let's pull that up. So they play RSL again on Sunday at home. I think they should easily win that game. We saw them dominate tonight on the road. Why couldn't they do that at home? I think I honestly think that they have, and Mr. says, I'm going to bed, guys. I'm shattered. Good night. Mr. I appreciate you. You're a real one. 5 a.m. in the UK. Appreciate you for staying up with us, my friend.
Jake also is going to bed at 5 a.m. Look at this, bro. That's incredible. Thank you guys for being here with us at 5 o'clock in the morning, man.
Exactly. I appreciate the support 100%. But LAFC and RSL playing again. I could even see LAFC doing a little bit of rotation because RSL, they just beat them. They're going to playing at home. They probably could beat them with some sort of rotation. So I'm not worried about them. St. Louis City is one of the worst teams in MLS this year. Oh, let me pull this back up. St. Louis is one of the worst teams in MLS this year, so I think they can win that easily. Atlanta United is terrible this year. Toronto's terrible. Like, this is a perfect down the stretch. They can win every single one of these games. And if they win all 6 of these games, that's 18 points, which puts them, quick math, at, let's see, they're at 47 right now. So 18 plus 47 is what, 65? 65 points. And I think with 65 points, they're a top 2 finisher in the Western Conference.
Yes, I agree.
Top 2 finisher in the Western Conference.
They can do it. They can do it. They can absolutely do it. I believe that they can do this. I'm telling you.
Angus says he's going to watch LAFC in St. Louis. I think it's going to happen. Nick, I think that they, at the bare minimum, could win 4 of these matches and probably get 2 draws. But I think that they can win all 6 of these, because if you look at this, so 3 of them are at home, 3 of them on the road, and the 3 at home, the ones on the road aren't, I mean, they're not that tough. I just don't see why they can't win all 6 of these matches if they're playing like this. I don't see why they can't do it, because these last 2 games, some people thought were tough for them because they had to play on the road, and they've outscored their opponent 8-3.
Yeah, I think the one that will only give them trouble because of, where it's at, Colorado. For some reason, we never play that well when it comes to altitude and stuff like that. That'd be an interesting one, but I expect LAFC to win all 6 games. I truly do. And that, of course I do. I'm an LAFC fan, but I'm with you. I think that they end up being in the 2nd spot unless something happens in San Diego and they fall. Then boom, we're in the running for the number 1 spot. We really could be there, but I think LAFC would be fine being in in the 2nd position in the West, and bring it on, man. It's game on right now, and this is the time to have it on. So.
Well, listen, this has been an incredible episode. We're 37 minutes almost in. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this post-game live stream so you guys can interact with us. This has been an incredible last 2 games. Son Heung-min is starting to come into his own. They found a formation that fits this team's strengths. They are playing lights out. If you're an LAFC fan, if you're a Son Heung-min fan, you have to enjoy what you are seeing right now. And guess what, Nick? The best is still yet to come. They have not even, I don't think they've even hit their stride yet. And we got the playoffs coming up. And if this team plays like this, they're not losing to anyone.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Of course.
Chat, check it out, man. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. And Will is a fantastic guy. And if you're in here, you're already watching his show. So make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure you like his stuff, and make sure you hit that notification button. He's right there at 10,000. And I know you're here watching because of Son, but not only that, if you want to learn stuff about MLS, you want to learn about the spending rules, go back and look in his playlist. The guy has done everything to describe what it's like for MLS and the rules. So I highly recommend you guys go and check out his videos. Make sure that you're here for his lives. Make sure that you're there for the watch-alongs. He does great content. The best, absolutely the best in MLS. As a unbiased fan, that's what you're going to get from Will. So make sure you give him that subscribe, because he deserves to hit that 10,000. He absolutely does.
I appreciate that, my friend. And guys, keep this in mind. You see the enthusiasm. I'm not even an LAFC fan. I'm a fan of the league. I support the league. I cover the league, but I have to cover everything that happens, and I have to show that genuine excitement, because this stuff makes me excited, and they've done so much for the league. And Son Heung-min has been incredible for Major League Soccer. Guys, I put Nick's channel, Voice of Black and Gold, in the description. There is a link, or it says @ and then Voice VOBG. Go follow him right now. Go subscribe to him. He does a weekly show. He does post games, or we're going to be doing more post games, but he does a weekly breakdown on Mondays, and it's incredible. I think it's the best LAFC podcast that there is. and he knows the most about ball. Make sure you go subscribe to him. I hope you guys enjoyed both streams. We've done a combined 3 hours tonight. And we're going to wrap it up here. So I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Make sure you like the stream down below if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. 130 subscribers away from 10K because of you guys, getting closer and closer. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We should hit 10,000 by next week. And until next time, guys, me and Nick will see you all soon.
Let's go, baby.